We're recording. We're ripping in. Welcome to episode 64. Oh, wait. Let me just hit this real quick. Welcome to episode 64 of the Jungle Brothers podcast.
Oh,
That's good, eh? You like that one? What do you think about this one? Hey, Tiora, good to see you, man. How you living?
oh thank you.
All right. Okay, guys, keep it down. Episode 64. We didn't record last week. Really sorry. It was a busy week, and Friday was the day before the gym opened, so we're getting ready to open back up. So that took priority. But we're back in action, and a couple of things to bring you guys up to speed on. The gym is open, which is awesome. It opened last Saturday, so we've had almost a week's worth of operation thus far. We have some restrictions in place, and we're managing them very well. But thankfully, because our space is quite large, it's allowed us to operate without really having to change all that much. So we've got plenty of new people coming in. Everyone's seeming quite motivated to get into their training. So if you're thinking that you want to get into your training, now's a good time to get in touch with us. So junglebrothers.com or at Jungle Brothers Movement on Instagram. And then the only other thing is that our internship is kicking back off. This is the one we started pre-COVID, so it's actually a full internship at this point. We've got 7 awesome humans in on that. That'll be kicking off in the next couple of weeks or re-kicking off. But we are taking names for our next one, which at this point will either be starting end of the year or early next year. So if you're interested in that, same avenues, reach out, get in touch, and let us help you take your coaching practice or skills to the next level. I'm your host, Joe Worthington. We've got Tiora Ward in the house.
Hello.
Hey, man, it's just the two of us today. Paulie's on a little break, which...
Bludger. What a bludger.
Who takes a holiday, you know? It's like,
Especially 3 days.
I know. And he had one like last year. Bro, fuck, how many do you need? But it's good. I think coming out of the COVID thing, we've all realized that a little break would be nice because we were actually kind of just as busy as always, but maybe in different ways.
Yeah. Busier.
Busier?
Yeah. Definitely for me. I've probably had one of the busiest periods I've had ever in this business.
Wow. Mm. Is that mostly coming down to the gym build side of things?
Gym build mostly, and then coming into COVID, we had our best 2 months of sales ever. So that was really busy, and because we have quite a large process of getting someone on the floor in a gym like ours, which is a duty of care, it takes up a lot of time, you know, or good fun times, but it's a time and energy, nonetheless.
Output for sure. Mm. And so today we're kind of diving into that, and we're talking about the gym build. And, you know, obviously not everyone listening has seen the place, but it's undergone some pretty considerable upgrades or changes since we closed for COVID. And it looks amazing. It looks absolutely stunning. T, that is a role that is one of the hats you wear, amongst others. He's the gym build guy, so he oversees that arm of the business. Do you want to give us a little overview on just, you know, what that role is and how it works?
Yeah. Can you turn my headphones up just a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. So I'm coming up. How's that?
Yeah, that's good. Oh, maybe down just a touch.
Yeah, how's that?
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thanks, bro. I think I fell into that role in the old gym. I think all of our roles we just kind of fell into, you know, marketing and, you know, accounting and gym build and that kind of stuff. I guess at the end of the day, it's stuff that you find an interest in, and then you kind of gravitate towards that part of the gym, and the stuff that you're not interested in, you kind of hide away from it, like we do from accounts. You know? Until
you're the last person hiding, in which case it becomes your role.
Yeah, that's right. When the other two are away on holidays, and you're like, shit, I gotta fucking do this now. But pardon me. So fell into the old gym. I think the first major kind of gym build we did was when we decided to dig up 2/3 of our gym floor. Which was
the concrete slab. That was the fuckedest job.
Oh, the shit job.
Let me give you guys a bit of context about how that happened. When the old gym, our first gym, was a business that we bought from another gym. They were a non-affiliated CrossFit gym, so they weren't actually a CrossFit gym, but that was what they were teaching. Anyway, it used to be a mechanics garage apparently, and it had this section of flooring that tapered off into like an oil pit.
Yeah, it was like a sink.
Yeah.
Like a big concrete sink that we had no idea existed because someone had built a makeshift lifting platform over the top of it.
That's right.
And then we went to lift that
couldn't
up
see it.
so we could actually have more than 5 people in the gym at once. We saw this big sinkhole in the middle of the floor, which was like, it was pretty catastrophic when it comes to floor space.
Yeah, it was shit.
Yeah.
And you couldn't, and I mean, if you think the sink itself was what, like maybe 1 meter by 1 meter, but the whole, like you said, 2/3 of the whole floor had a taper on it, tapering down into this hole. So you could put, you know, a ball or a barbell or something anywhere in the gym, it would roll away.
Roll into the sink.
Yeah, it was shit.
Oh, fucking hell.
So T had the idea. He's like, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna dig the concrete up.
We tried a few different things.
What did we
tried
try?
to fill it with like planks of like ply that we found down the road.
Yes, we
And then
did.
put mats over the top of that. That didn't work.
That was horrible.
And then we were like, okay, well maybe we can get some leveling concrete in. And then we were told that was definitely not going to work because the edges would just chip away.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to one of my wife's cousins who was in the building industry at the time, and he's a bit of a rat bag. I think he's been like in and out of, you know, jail and stuff like that. And
Our kind of guy.
he's come in and he's like, yeah, man, you just need to get a jackhammer and just pull all of this up and then lay a new slab. I didn't know what any of that meant. I was like, oh, okay, all right. And he goes, hey, I'll get some tools for you. You'll be able to do it yourself. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then we turned up with this fucking petrol-powered, what is that, concrete cutter?
saw.
Oh, my gosh. And he just fucking whips it on. He's like, and he's going, look, you got to make sure that when you're cutting, because it had no safety guard on it, said, when you're cutting with this thing, if it kicks back, there's a chance it might end up lodged in your head. So you got to make sure you keep, because there's no safety guard on it. And you got to have someone on a hose watering down the blade as you do it, because the watering system in it doesn't work either. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm capable of doing this. He goes, I'm like, are you sure I'm like qualified to handle this tool? And he's like, yeah, you'll be fine, mate. You'll be fine. Just cut the edges, and then you'll get rid of this in like, you know, a couple of hours on the jackhammer. What was it? 3 weeks later, I think it was.
Dude.
2 weeks later.
Yeah.
5 of us.
It was 2 weeks of jackhammering, wasn't it? Or,
And the gym was covered in like fucking concrete dust.
but you're skipping over one of the most memorable parts of that for me, which was that, so T was the go-between, and he was essentially the project manager on this, and he's like, we're doing it. I've spoken to Dave. We got the plan. He's got the tools. We're good. And we're like, all right, great, let's go. And this is typically our attitude, is like, there's a solution. Okay, great. What needs to be done? Let's make it happen. And so, as I remember, it was maybe a Friday, and you started the cutting. You started cutting the concrete. Are you doing it by yourself, I think?
Yeah.
Or maybe with Dave?
Yeah,
And then-
by myself. And we had the car lights on it because we couldn't run power because of the amount of water that was on the floor, and it had those real low power points.
That's right. That's right. And then essentially T said, guys, you were going away that weekend with D for a seminar, or for a course. So you were like, hey guys, I'm actually away for the weekend, but I've got all the gear here. Here's how to do it. Just turn up tomorrow morning. You guys will be fine. You'll knock it out. And so it was me, Paul, and Betsy turned up the next day, and we were like, oh my fucking God. Like, he wants us to run this saw. Like, we were even more concerned about it than you were, because we didn't even have Dave there to go, nah, you'll be sweet, mate. Jump in. And we're like, oh God, all right, we'll give it a go. And yeah, it was a whole weekend of like, and it's funny, right? We're like pretty strong guys. We work out and stuff.
Broke
but
us.
Jesus Christ, man. Jackhammering and dealing with concrete breaks you.
Yeah, that was hard work, man.
It was awful.
And we had to find a way of getting rid of it all because we had no money.
Yep.
And I think we did about, well, we're chucking in the back of my father-in-law's ute. And then you spoke to the building guys next door.
Yep.
That were managing those huge building blocks. And they were like, yeah, mate, just
dump
it in the big bins over there.
Yeah.
So we had those guys that were dumping into there, and then we didn't even know how we were going to get the concrete. We ended up talking to someone else that knew a concrete pourer, and they came in and pulled half our rig out and laid it, and no one knew how to smooth it out.
Yeah.
So, oh man, it was an ugly job. Lucky it was covered with mats,
Yep.
but we were just pulling because we had no money. We pulled
were
strings
skinned.
from everywhere to make that happen.
And there were those two Tongan boys that came down and helped with the concrete. They were legends.
Yeah, they just came, did it for free, and then left. But it was interesting. I got a piece of pipe that I jackhammered through on the Sunday after I came back from the course that I saw you guys. And it was like my first time on the jackhammer, and I punctured a pipe. And then we had to wait, get the plumber in, cut the water off, resoldered the pipe. And I found the pipe after we finished the job. And I was like, right, if this gym fucking makes it, I'm going to hold on to this pipe. I'm going to remember that this whole fucking shit fight was worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still sitting in my little bucket over there.
Yep.
And every time now when there's a big job on where we're going to blow a bunch of money and ask for a lot of favors and, you know, if I could stretch ourselves thin, I always kind of think about that bit of pipe and I kind of look at it and I think, right, doesn't matter what we do now. That was the biggest risk we ever took. We had no money. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We didn't know if it was going to make any difference to our floor space, which it did. And from there on, it's like, okay, well, nothing's going to be as tough as that period and as much of a sacrifice and as much of a risk. And usually at the end of it, it's worth it, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
So it was a real driver. And I think just from that was that kind of push for us. It was like, okay, we're going to grow out of this space. We need to move into a bigger space. And that same approach just kept following us through, hitting up people for favors, not having any money, taking on projects way too big, and then blowing out a budget. And once the dust settles, ending up with a fucking amazing product, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on that, and I think this is maybe, you know, this might be interesting for people listening. And I guess when you're looking at businesses from the outside and you see, like we all see, you know, you see big businesses or you see big outlays within business. You go to a restaurant and they've obviously spent hundreds of thousands of dollars fitting it out. You know, you can go to, I don't know, you go to a cafe and you're like, fuck, this is a new cafe. They've obviously spent a shitload of money on this. So with jobs like that, which we obviously largely took it on ourselves and went out on a limb and it could have ended up really badly, right? Why didn't we just get professionals to do it? And why didn't we just go, all right, you're a concreter, you're a builder, whatever, this is what we need done, can you do it?
Well, I guess we do that anyway. We just do it with no money. We've never really had a budget for gym build, even though we do spend a lot of money on it. There's never been like, okay, we're going to take $100,000 and we're going to apply it to building a gym, and we'll get an interior designer and someone from fucking Alpha Fit to come down and kit out our gym and do all of that, and someone else. I think one of the two major reasons why we haven't gone down that path, one, it's expensive for what you get. So you get less for your money. Two, it's generic and you get a gym that looks exactly the same as the next one. And that's something that we've always kind of steered away from because we don't do the same as what the next gym does inside our gym. And I think the space needs to reflect the kind of humans that you build. And there's a quote from a guy called Marshall McLuhan, and he's a media philosopher from Canada that I know absolutely nothing about. I don't even know what he does. I don't know what he represents, but he's got a quote that says, we become what we behold. We shape our tools, and thereafter our tools shape us. So when you're looking at, say, someone who's sitting in an office all day, you know, you build a chair, you build a computer, and then you spend lots of time on it, and before you know it, you're starting to take the form of the space around you.
Great quote.
In our gym, I think the fact that there's so much diversity and also a lot of our individual taste and our passion that goes into the build, that in turn shapes the people that train in here. So when you're looking at what the aim is for a build like ours, it's like like any garden, you'll plant the right flora and you attract the right fauna. So firstly, a gym like this attracts a certain kind of human, and that's humans that are similar to us because they obviously like our style, they like the tools that we use, they like our use of space and all of that. And then also, our...
Not douchebags.
Yeah, no, douchebags don't like our gym. For us, we actually quote as part of our ethos that we build strong, durable, useful humans. And that's exactly what our gym represents. You walk in and you look at it, and it might not be the most attractive looking space, but everything in it is strong and durable. It's going to last much longer than probably any of us. And everything has a use here. Like it's all interactive. And that's from like the inbuilt cupboards that we use for kick-ups, chest to walls, to, the fucking rig and all the other stuff. Like all of it you can hang off, all of it you can step on, you can walk on, you can jump on it. You know what I mean? It's all interactive and it's built tough, And when you build something strong, you usually have to pay a lot of money for it. And I think the path that we've taken has allowed us to come up with a product that's not necessarily looking like the perfect generic style gym, but the interactiveness of the space is much, it's fucking great,
Yeah, I mean, it's, you only have to kind of cruise into our gym and pay attention to the small details, and then you start to kind of see the reality of what you just mentioned, what you just spoke about, in that there's tiny little details and things. It's not like we're really super particular about everything. We're quite broad and we're pretty rough and ready with certain parts, but it's all very considered and it's all very, I guess you'd say it's very utilitarian, isn't it?
Yeah.
But there's very little fluff.
No.
There's no bullshit.
No.
And that's how we like it.
Yeah.
And we try to make it comfortable and nice, but we also try to make it really work.
Mm.
It's not like a studio feel. It's a workspace.
It is a workspace. And if you've got a wall, then the wall's either used for training on, or it's a storage wall or something like that. But it also triples as something that's aesthetic and nice to look at.
Yeah.
It's unique. There's no other gym like our gym that I'm aware of.
No, I think the places that would look more like our gym are like motorcycle workshops.
And breweries and shit.
Breweries, yeah. We actually had a couple of new members who said the other day that when they first drove past here, they saw the container, they saw the garden, they saw the deck, the fairy lights we have through the grapevine, and they thought it was a brewery. And they're like, that looks like a cool brewery.
That is awesome.
That's mad.
We could run a brewery here.
We could totally run a brewery.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Find space for it. We do. Look, the closed system is really important to us. So we want to get the space into a position where it's carbon positive. We want to have a space that forces people just to accept other styles of training. So the multiple discipline factor of our gym, the fact that we can change it from class to class, from a space that's specifically lift based, and you've got lots of heavy weight getting thrown around, and then literally the next class is meditating and stretching. It forces people to, you can't have hookups. You can't come into a gym like us and just be jacked up on muscle and lift all day and then scoff at the yogi. You know what I mean? And I think this is important because it just recognizes a little bit of equality, and it also forces you to look into the areas of your body that need attention. So if you are very strong, again, there's space there that forces you to look at your poor range of motion, or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
It's a good point. When you I think we can all identify when you hang out in in any place, but in any place where there's a kind of specialized culture, like when you start going to a commercial gym, or you hang out at your jiu-jitsu club, or whatever it is. Even if you hang out at your favorite cafe all the time, you can start to think that culture is everything, and that being like that is everything. And I remember feeling like that at the gym, being like, oh, I've got to look like these guys, and I've got to be big and jacked, and I've got to use the cable machine. And, this is when I was like 16 and trying to understand how to, build muscle and sort of thing. And so you get really influenced by that.
And that starts to create like a ranking, and like a bit of a
hierarchy.
Hierarchy and a class structure within
For sure.
most specialist gyms. I mean, you go to a jiu-jitsu gym and it's displayed in a belt system.
Yeah.
You go into a good kickboxing gym and you'll hear the good guys and girls are like on the pads and the bags, and you're like, okay, they're the alphas, But here it's different. I mean, we had Paul in yesterday. It's a perfect example. This guy's like a very proficient black belt, and in any jiu-jitsu gym, he's like, he's the alpha.
Beast.
And then we had him downstairs doing some mobility work for his lats, and he looked like an old man.
Yeah.
So he goes from
like
one
total
class
beta.
being the head coach and the systems designer for that class. Like, you don't get more higher ranked than that in our gym, to being like an absolute beginner in a class that's going to get him dominated by a bunch of women that are twice his age, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it's good. It's good for people to be able to just be leveled out, because it helps you turns you into a better human, at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all,
physically.
it can all be a bit of an illusion, can't it? That you can
Yeah.
you can be in a place and be, the top dog, and then whatever you want to go and, I mean, we talk about this with physicality all the time, but you can be really great at powerlifting or whatever, and then you go and kick a soccer ball around, you snap your Achilles or tear your groin because you're not used to moving sideways. So yeah, for sure, it ties in. I guess it really ties in both the physical side, but also the sort of the not the spiritual, but the sort of like in your self-awareness where you're like, oh, okay, everyone is kind of equal here because I'm shit at these things.
Yeah, and it's
hopefully good at something.
It's good for social interaction because you're more approachable. You can approach other people that are potentially very good at something, and you can knowledge share in a space like that.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you're too good for anyone. The space also encourages interaction, having different levels and keeping everything open. And this open plan that we've done, because there's been many times when it would have been very easy for us to just section things off and create exclusive spaces that don't have visual interaction with other areas of the gym. And the mezzanine's a perfect example of how we went with a full net instead of a wall, for instance. So you can actually see the colour and movement of people working upstairs and rolling and fighting, and then downstairs people lifting and climbing ropes and shit like that. So I think visually it's a really nice space to be in. And it stops these splinter cells forming where you get like the jiu-jitsu community,
splinter cells,
the
I like
lifting
that.
community, and they don't interact. Or the only time they see each other when they pass each other at the bag rack,
Yeah.
like you're constantly in each other's face, not right up close, but you see people and then you get to know them.
Yeah. It's funny how that evolves, isn't it? You've experienced it in gyms before.
Oh yeah.
Especially when
Clicky
you're one
crews,
of the fighters.
Yeah.
And you're in a gym where there's, I don't know, some weightlifting or something. I've experienced it in a gym where I'm like a grappler and then there's strikers, and you're kind of like, for some reason, you just don't gel.
Yeah.
It's so silly.
Yeah, yeah.
You just kind of avoid each other.
Yeah, you avoid each other, especially if you've got like dual levels or something like that. You won't even talk to each other. But I think a lot of it comes down to space, the design of a space. I think Paul's mentioned this quite a few times, that design is will dictate the way people interact, and I think it's really important. The gym also polarizes, so it pushes people away that we don't want in here. And I know that sounds horrible. And it's not that it pushes people away that we don't want in here. It pushes people away that aren't ready to be in a space like this. And that changes after time. Maybe someone turns around and goes, you know what? I think I need a bit of that in my life now. I'm ready for it. But if you're not ready for that kind of interaction, if you're not ready to confront the area, the weaknesses that your body has, then a space like this, if you look at it, is going to be quite intimidating for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we get that every now and then, where you get someone coming from Anytime Fitness or something who's, you know, carrying a shitload of muscle and looks fantastic, and they'll kind of, they won't step past the threshold of the roller door. They'll usually stand at the roller door and they'll look in, and the front is there, but you can see, you can smell that there's intimidation in there.
Yeah.
Which is really strange, because you're looking at something that's reflecting, you know, alpha masculinity and strength and, you know.
Capability.
Yeah, and they look at a space like ours and it's like, okay, this is going to expose me, you know, all the weakness. And that's exactly what it's designed to do. It's just a matter of whether you're ready or not to be able to confront it. And, you know, I mean, I feel that myself when I come into this space and I see someone doing something that I'd love to be able to do, and I know that I need a bit of that, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to put that on my list and I'll explore that, you know, especially when I watch Alan doing his stuff.
The coordination work.
Right. I mean, I look at it and I think I should probably do a bit of that, but I'd never do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's true. It's hard. There's not enough hours in the day, really, to explore. If you look at the diversity of things on offer here, there really isn't enough time.
No.
Unless you were doing it full time.
Yeah, you do got to live in here.
We've got to run that biz, though.
Which is kind of, you know, there are people in here that do that.
So going back to that question I asked about the, you know, why don't we just pay someone to do it? And obviously, like, a big factor there is cost.
Yeah.
By us taking on whatever piece of these big projects we can, we reduce the cost.
Yeah.
But we also, I guess, we learn a skill set so that when we need to do that the next time, we require less help, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And you know what? Like, there's so many good resources within our Jungle Brothers community, and this is like tradesmen, you know, interior designers, you know, just avid, you know, gardeners. We've got everything here.
Yeah, carpenters, metal workers,
electricians.
Yeah,
the whole bit.
Ceramicists.
Yeah, and like all different kinds of carpenters. Ones that build the formwork, and others that do cabinetry, and others that do bespoke recycled. And we've used all of them. I hit them up for favors continuously, and I think everyone that's, I mean, fuck, I don't know. I think everyone who's a member of this gym has worked on this gym for free at some point. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just hit up anyone and everyone who's available at the time and ask them if they want to get involved. And it sounds selfish, but it also, these big builds, they build camaraderie. I get really close to the members that are part of these builds. I've made some of my best friends out of the gym as members through these builds. And yeah, and it's just something about it, man. It's just fucking mad to be able to walk in and know that you did that yourself. You know what I mean? You just value it more, and you want to look after it a little more, and you've got an attachment to it, and that you've done that with people that you love and admire and have a relationship with is even better. And I think when our members walk into the gym and they see things that they've been a part of, it's taking ownership, you know? Yeah. And yeah, it's great for us because those members get more attached to being here. And for building relationships, yeah, it's fucking, I don't think you can get any stronger, you know?
So was that an intentional part of, like, did you recognize that early on and think, if I incorporate the members into this stuff, that they will take more ownership and it creates a stronger bond between them and the business, or them and the space? Or was it just something that you noticed as a side sort of effect of it?
Yeah, totally side effect. I think at the beginning it was just asking for help.
Yeah.
You know,
favors.
like not having any money, being next to someone that has knowledge and skill set and saying, hey, can you show me how I can do this, because I don't, and then they'll turn around and say, I'll just do it for you.
Oh, you sure?
That worked.
Yeah. Oh. Do you want a coffee?
Try that one again.
Yeah.
But
you keep going. I'll get the sandwiches.
That's pretty much my role.
Yeah.
The whole of the build is just, look, it's important. You got to keep everyone fed. You got to keep everyone happy. You got to be there working with them the whole time. Like if you're asking people for favors, and I've asked a lot of people for a lot of favors, and you have to have the intention of repaying those favors somehow. It's got to be a contra deal in there, and it doesn't matter if that's, membership or fucking PT or programming, or just being available when someone calls you at, 9 p.m. at night because they've got issues with their wife or something, and being available for that phone call just to chat as a mate,
Yeah.
There has to be an exchange. You can't just take from people, especially when you're dealing with trades and shit like that.
Yeah.
So the intention whenever I ask any of these guys and girls for favors is to give back more than what I've taken. And I might not be able to do it on the spot, but I know over time in my head, I feel comfortable with that because they're going to get what they've put in, and they're going to get it even more so. I think when you have a friendship, that's what friendship is all about at the end of the day, isn't it? It's a transaction, like you're giving and you're receiving, and that has to be a two-way thing,
Yeah.
And at certain times you might not need anything and you're in a position to give, and then other times that changes and you're a friend in need, and someone will be there for you,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a cultural thing here at JB's, I can't think of a part of the gym that we haven't had a member involved, from the sign out the front. We had Will Lyons hand painted all of our signs.
Yep.
He's a fellow that I train.
Using a design that Joe handmade, one of our ex-members.
One of our ex-members. And then you walk through the front doors, you've got mosaics that we've built, that the members built through tiles that were kilned in Rebecca Fitzgerald's pottery studio down the road. And she's also a member.
She glazed them, painted them.
And then we even had members cut them out and write their names in the leaves. So all the leaves are, designed by other members. The whole garden was built over like 2 huge garden days, and I think probably about 3/4 of our membership base were involved in that at some point or another. They picked up a shovel or painted some stuff and
brought food.
Yeah, that's right. You had Anand that's bought food pretty much every build. He'll turn up with a whole stack of mad snacks. And then we got the container that we bought off Derek, who's done all of our metal work, and that guy's just been like fucking amazing.
He's a true savior.
Oh man, he built our mezzanine. He built our whole rig. He built.
By the way, people keep messaging me asking me where we got that rig.
Yeah.
And when I say it was custom built and I don't give you any more information, it's because it's ours.
Yeah, that's right. And Derek said, "Don't tell anyone I built it because I never want to build another one again."
Shit fight.
mate, I can't. I don't want to build one of them again. That thing was that was a tricky build.
That was a big job.
Oh gosh. And then came in container. Then we had we got the pond and all of our plumbing done by Eddie Patterson. He's also a fellow that I train. He's done all of our plumbing, and then we've tapped into the next door neighbour's water tank that's watering our garden. Those guys were happy for us to use it, so we didn't have to buy our own. That was just kind of overflowing. And then we built our deck, and Stefan and Marek and Carl, but especially Stefan and Marek, they put in, I think, like 5 days, solid days, just like full days building that deck over COVID. We got the wood through Steve Lyon's brother and their business for wholesale.
Aaron Hook
was in there, and he also did upstairs as well. So they're all carpenters. and you know, man, I can't thank those guys enough. They just put in so much time and energy into
Huge days.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And funny, like the just, you know, and obviously there's more to mention there, but just a thing that I've noticed, like when back in the day when we did projects, it was us doing them, and it was just because it had to be. Like we didn't really have that many members, and we weren't really in a position where we felt comfortable to ask for a lot of help. And I think we probably didn't know how to manage them anyway. So it was like, we'll just do it. And it was you, me, and Paul and Betty back in those early days. And then over time, it's sort of evolved. And it's literally at the point now where there's that many people working on the deck who knew what who were, you know, really quite skilled.
Better at that than us at doing it.
Yeah, and I didn't get involved at all. I made some videos about it, but I was doing other things, working on other things, which in a way I'm like, oh, is that bad? Like, is it bad that I'm not here till 9 o'clock tonight doing it? And, you know, I kind of reconciled that it's not, as, you know, as long as I'm doing something.
Yeah.
But it's just very interesting that as it's evolved, it's gotten to that point, and it's like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Because those guys, like, they're sacrificing their time and energy, but they're stoked to do it. Like, they want to contribute, they want to help.
Yeah.
And they have a beautiful skill set and the know how to build something special. And so they do it, you know?
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, and they know they come in like with the intention of doing it as a gift. But I think they also know deep down that, you know, further down the track, they're going to get something in return of equal value, you know?
For sure.
And yeah, so yeah, I mean, Stefan and Marek, fuck, those guys can work hard, you know? They just pumped it out. I was so impressed. And the skill set, you know, fucking great. And then, you know, we recycle a whole bunch of stuff. So the basins that we've got in Jared's office, we got from Elaine's house that was sitting in the back of their shed, and we took it's a big old concrete basin, and then we got some chain and rigged it to the ceiling. We punched through the concrete slab underneath, so we hung it, and then we took wood from Fee's garage, and that you know, all those little bits. Half the gym's built out of fucking stuff that's sitting in members' garages at home.
Josh built the doors on our bathrooms.
Yeah.
Which are all bits of recycled wood.
Bits.
Tiny bits that he's arranged together in like a parquetry kind of fashion.
They look fucking sick.
They're incredible.
Yeah. And that was all scrap wood. That was going into the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, it's funny though, every time like we take that stuff and we give it a new life, the member that we take it from, because I'll go there, I'll say, hey, has anyone got any fucking wood to put in? They're like, hey, I got some stuff lying in the garage. So I'll go check it out, look at it. Oh, awesome. Take it to the gym. You know,
you'd be like, nah, this is junk, mate. I'll take it to the tip for you. Don't worry about it. I'll sort it out. And you're like, fuck yeah, hardwood.
Yeah. We take it upstairs and lay it, and then as soon as the members see it like in place, they're like, oh, really would have looked nice. That would have looked nice in my. Could have done that deck around the pool, or use that for my own bathroom. We should have done that, you know, like they say, because you give it a new life.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh man, that looks fucking great, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we've done. Once you walk through the garden and you get into the main gym, and you look up, we've got really high ceilings here, and it allows us to hang things and just get lots of elevation with our training, so straps and rope climbs and high rings and that kind of stuff. And this again adds a dynamic to exercise. If you walk into most standard gyms, a lot of them you can touch a fucking roof with your hands, you know, especially if you're in an office block. But when you can now go up and down, like you can travel up. This changes things, you know. There's huge amounts of upper body strength you can build from being able to move up in elevation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And even when you're utilizing your legs. So we've been able to take advantage of the height of our gym, but we didn't need all of it. So half of it, we ended up building a mezzanine, and that mezzanine was a fucking huge build. And again, we had Stefan and his boys on there. Carl, who's been a part of every build, he was our member of the year last year.
Carl's done. He's got to have just been the most present at all projects.
Yeah, every single one.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, if there was a fourth,
He'll
Jungle
come. He'll
Brother,
come in
it'd
on
be
a Sunday and work on the garden.
Yeah.
Like he's on another level.
Yeah, he sent me a text about half an hour ago saying, "Hey man, I have a feeling that there's something that you need to work on. I'm going to be in there around 1. Do you need a hand?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I need to put those inbuilt covers up." I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do it." And so yeah, he's there for every single build from the start of the day to the finish. Yeah, which is phenomenal, and he's never asked for anything in return.
Anything
ever.
He thanks us.
Yeah.
It's really it's awkward. You're like, bro, thank you so much. He's like, thank you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh God.
Yeah.
Like, it's immense.
Yeah.
The amount he's contributed to this place.
Yeah. And he, look, he's the next wave of Jungle Brothers coaches. Like, he knows now how to build his own JBs. He moves like a fucking panther, He's constantly absorbing information when he comes in here from coaches, from classes, and he's learning every single element of what we do here at JB's. And once he finishes his coach's internship, he'll know the back end as well, So it's really nice to know that, and he's young and he's fit and everything, and just watching these guys come through the ranks.
Handsome.
Yeah. Single.
Very single.
Very single.
Take note, ladies.
Yeah.
Good on the tools.
Yeah. And so then we had the mezzanine, and I had so many different people involved. I had my father-in-law come in. Actually, my father-in-law, Kenny, he's a steel fabricator as well, and I've always relied on Derek, who's just been our steel man
Since we met Derek.
Yeah.
Before Derek.
Yes, it was always Kenny.
Had done so much.
And then I had a chat with him about the mezzanine, and we sat down and he asked me all these questions about it, and it had already been built. And then right at the end he goes, "You know what, T? I'm a little bit disappointed." And I'm like, "Oh, what are you disappointed about?" And he goes, "Oh, you didn't come to me once and ask me about the mezzanine." And then he kind of said, "All right, see you later." And this is why I was sitting in the car and I was like, "God damn it, I feel like shit right now." And then I was like, "Right, you asked for it, Kenny. You should never have reopened that floodgate." So I was on him the next day, and I was like, "Oh yeah, remember that conversation we had? Well, I got this stairwell I need to build like on the mezzanine, because Derek had built the runners for the stairwell, but he hadn't factored in any of the caging of the stairwell, and we knew that from the beginning of the build. He said, "That's something you should look after yourself, because it's just going to cost you a huge amount of money." And I thought, fuck, we'll figure that out when we get there. And then anyway, Ken came in with his brother, and Kenny's 67, his brother's 72, and they spent a whole day just fucking welding, shipping in metal and welding. And at the end of it, we had this fucking stairwell that's like, it looks like you could put it in a fucking army barrack.
But it's stylish too.
Yeah, it looks
like a little
sick.
Cocktail lounge.
Yeah.
In a motorcycle garage.
Yeah, and I've taken heaps of stuff from his warehouse. They got this massive warehouse just full of old stuff.
From day one, man.
Yeah.
From day one of the gym, you've taken shit from there.
Yeah, we got those beautiful light, what are they? The Bakelite.
Oh, the
60s.
Those ones that are hanging, are they from Kenny's?
Yeah. Well, they're like a 60s China hat. Is that you allowed to say that nowadays? Probably not.
Yeah. It's funny. They're actually we've got some similar ones at home that are modern, but they're a nifty design, because they're designed like what was known as a China hat, but they're also designed so that when you can't see the bulb.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why they have that second kind of thing in them.
Yeah.
And you don't get any piercing light coming from the sides.
Yeah.
So you just get this nice soft down light.
Yeah.
They're really quite nice.
Yeah. Well, they were sitting in the corner of his warehouse, and I was looking at these things, and they're covered in dust. They'd been there literally since the day that opened, and this was like 50 years ago. And I was like, "What are you going to do with those, Kenny?" And he's like, "They're rubbish. Can chuck them out." I was like, "Oh man, can I have them?" And he's like, "Oh, what do you want them for?" It's a pile of rubbish. And I was like, "Mate," I took them, polished them up, and they
trash.
were fucking amazing.
They're beautiful.
Very happy with them. Yeah. So they hang over the stairwells, walking up into our jiu-jitsu, into the mat section. All of that wood was laid by Aaron, Stefan first, and then Aaron came and touched it up with the leftover decking from out the back, and that whole stairwell experience is fucking great.
From Kenny too, we had our fans.
Ah, yes.
All the big fans, big industrial
fans.
fans, they all came from his workshop, didn't they?
They were rigged to the walls in his workshop, and they'd never been turned on for 50 years.
Incredible. His workshop is fucking huge, isn't it?
There was never power to them. So they got rigged up. They were rigged up there the day they moved in, and power was never run to them. So they're just dangling there with a fucking lead on the end. And I remember asking him, saying, well, did they ever turn on? And he's like, never turned them on in my life. And I was like, oh, would you be interested in selling them? And he's like, if you take them off the wall, you'd be doing us a favour. So I was literally that day, I grabbed them all, put them up in the gym, turned them on, and they were fucking perfect.
Dude, they're like
amazing?
1950s, like beautiful.
Sat there for
heavy
50 years or whatever it was, 40 years or whatever, and turned them on, and they worked perfect first time.
Yeah.
Silent.
They don't make them like they used to.
Nah. But yeah, I mean, fuck. Bags, we put our bags on a pulley runners underneath the mezzanine, so they're hooked up to the I-beams.
So heavy bags, that is.
Heavy bags, and they're on pulley. What are they called? I-beam pulley clamps. So they're probably rated to about 2 ton, but we've got about 60 kilos hanging off them.
Yeah. Heavy duty.
But again, cheaper than a rail that you would use to run bags. You'd probably spend about $2,000 on a rail that you run bags made of fucking aluminium. Cheap ship, wouldn't last for long. And now we've got, heavy metal that's going to last longer than us for a fraction of the price,
Yep.
And plus it adds to the look, I think it looks fucking mad.
Yeah, it looks dope.
Yeah. Bathrooms, again, we're recycling our water for our cistern. So when you wash your hands, we fill the cisterns up. Cisterns save, I think we were saving about, I don't know how many, it was like gigaliters a year in water.
Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know exactly if I've used the right unit there, but it was huge amounts.
It's a fucking lot.
Thousands of litres of water that we're saving from not having to use washing your hands and flushing the water, like literally halving the amount of water that you're using every time you go to the toilet. And the toilet flush a lot in a gym, you know what I mean? Because you've got people walking in and out all the time. Again, we use corrugated iron for walls for the showers. When we sealed the walls and then put the corrugated iron on, I called the guys at the shop where they sell it, and I said to them, "Hey, how'd you go about applying them to like your roofing iron to a shower wall?" And they were like, "You don't," and then they hung up on me. So I just went down and bought it anyway. And it works fine. It's
great.
It's a look, So that's
well. The other option was we tile it, which is the conventional thing for a bathroom.
Yeah,
and that we couldn't do, and we looked at it and we're like, we can't afford that.
Yeah.
Like we just scraped into the lease here, got the space.
Yeah,
we had a little budget for fitting it out. We kind of went over that by about triple the amount, and then we're like, well, fuck, we got to do something in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
We can't tile it because that's going to be too pricey. So it forced you to look for alternatives, which was where the creativity comes from.
Yeah.
Which is kind of our story, isn't it? It's like
Pretty
getting backed into a corner and then having to find a creative solution, which you end up with something that is largely more special than what it would have been if you just had the money.
Yes.
Because then you just have, like you said, a generic bathroom.
That's right.
Nice and white and tiled.
Tiles, and we were lucky enough to move next door to Ivan, who's got, what does he do?
It's called the Plant Yard, his business, and he rents, I think he rents like machinery and building stuff, to job sites.
Yeah.
But he's a hoarder.
Yes.
And he has everything. A huge collection of everything you can imagine.
Yeah, like from like toilet seats to air conditioning unit faces without the air conditioners behind them, stop signs, like hundreds of them in
ladders,
buckets, and everything.
Yeah, just everything.
Bits of old wood stacked up to the ceiling. It's pretty. The first time I walked in there was on a Sunday, and he comes back from church on Sunday, and he puts on like choir music and and the organ inside his workshop, and you've got the skylights shining into this workshop, and you can look down the aisles of the workshop, and it's like this warehouse, I should say. It's a massive warehouse, and it's like stepping into a cathedral that's being lit. But the cathedral, it's got just as much detail as like one of those European Gothic cathedrals, or the Baroque ones with all the bits on it.
Yeah.
But it's all junk. It's so surreal. And I remember.
But it's well organised junk, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like
He knows where
it's not a
everything is.
dump.
No.
Yeah, it's all very, it is a system.
Yeah, and it works. The
Yeah.
stuff he rents it. People, it goes out in trucks and then anyway, he came into the gym when we first moved in and he said, right, you guys open a gym here, you need to fucking keep this place clean because it was disgusting when we first got here. Walls, roof, fucking
The beams.
I-beams, and that was a massive job.
Just a layer of grime on everything, years and years of debris.
And we had no idea how to do it. We just knew we had to.
We probably would have just used a duster
I
or
would have
something.
made a fucking mess.
Yeah.
And he said, right, you got to dust it. We had to dust it all with the high-powered blowers,
Yep.
the petrol-powered blowers. And he gave us those. He gave us a forklift to use, take the blowers, blow it all out first, get the big industrial fans, blow out the dust. And then after we blow all the dust out, then we had to power clean everything. And he had the power cleaning fucking
We
jet.
hosed the whole building,
Fuck.
top to
Oh,
bottom.
gosh, that was horrible.
It was incredibly satisfying though, wasn't it?
Well, afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
The worst was the paint that you and Paul did.
That was so fucked.
The back wall with the what did you have? It was a spray,
There's a spray gun.
Oh man, I just remember walking in that night because I was doing the floor upstairs. Oh, the stairs. I was angle grinding the stairs back, the glue off the stairs because we were going to seal the office floor, and I fucking almost died from from how toxic it smelled. I was like, I had to run out of the gym and I was like coughing and sputting and I was like, oh man. Even with the mask on, it was fucking hard work. Hard work.
I was Paul's in
Fucking
the
gross.
forklift. I'm in a cage that's on the forklift with a spray gun, and we're all covered like head to toe, like PPE, face mask, breathing apparatus, whatever.
It's like a scene out of
Breaking Bad. Yeah. And Paul's like,
It's like 11 o'clock at night.
Paul's taking me up to top stick on the forklift, and I'm spraying this white paint thick on the wall.
on that brick that just absorbs everything.
Oh man, it's just fumes. And it was like, Paul, we couldn't even hear each other because we're both wearing
Yeah.
the ear mufflers,
And
and
the
Paul's
forklift.
using a diesel forklift, and
Yeah.
I'm using like a diesel
bro.
sprayer
Oh, it was
or an
heavy.
air compressor or some
It
shit.
was fucking gross.
It was rank.
Yeah.
But got the job done.
Got the job done, and then we did the floor up here with a stone grinder. Pulled all the carpet up, ground back the concrete slab, and then we had to wash it back, and then we sealed it, which came up fucking awesome. And then Kenny had a big table at his lockup, and he's like, mate, I got this huge table at my lockup. You can have it if you want because it's been sitting there for 20 years, and I couldn't bring myself to throwing it out. So if you want it, it's yours. And it took when he told me, I was like, I don't want to do any more work on this place for a while. And the thing was so fucking big and heavy. And then it took took 2 years before I actually kind of brought myself round to picking it up and bringing it over. And we had, how many of us were there? It was you. You weren't here.
I was on the receiving end for a little bit.
Me, as Marco, Paul was here, and then it was Jared as well.
You almost can't perceive of the size and the heaviness, the weight of the table.
The fucking table was heavy.
It's like a concrete slab.
What is it? It's like 2 meters by 2 by 5 or something.
Yeah, about that.
Something. It's huge. Anyway, we had to get it up this fucking stairwell that kind of turns around the corner, and I think at one stage all the weight went into Jared, and luckily the guy deadlifts like, I don't know, what was he deadlift like 200
200 plus.
250, something like that.
Yeah.
For reps kind of thing, and it all shifted into his hands. And I remember just seeing his whole body just starts swelling and all these fades start popping out of his forehead. And I was like, oh, we need to shift the weight back towards the front. But we got up here and now we've got this big communal table in the middle of the office. And again, office space is the same thing. You know, it promotes interaction, which is sometimes a bad thing, you know, because you can't get a lot of work done here because it's always someone wants to have a little chat. We've got tatame mat in the corner where you can sit and have a little stretch and sit on a beanbag. But then we also have another table, which is where we podcast, but also somewhere where you can sit and kind of separate yourself from the crew, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, all around, a lot of help from a lot of people. I know I've probably missed a whole bunch of names there. You know, Nicole was really big help through all of that. You know, with Josh Pincus, and there's heaps and heaps of other people that I haven't mentioned. But, I mean, the final product has just been, something very different, very unique, and something that I think everyone who trains here or works here is very proud of, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of...
It's a big job. And how do you see it? You know, you've been saying a bit recently that you kind of feel like the majority of the jobs that you've wanted to get done in this space are done now.
Yeah.
Do you think that, you know, you're a bit of a restless guy when it comes to that stuff?
Yeah.
Which is why you're a good guy for the job.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's the case, or do you think that you'll be finding more things you want to work on?
Yeah, always more projects. I said to you before, like, even though, like, when the big stints of work, you get pretty run down, tired. I like that. I don't think it's sustainable to work like that. A lot of people work like that day in and day out forever, and your body's fucked by the time you're 60. But I think having little stints of pushing yourself, I think it's actually good for you. You know, as long as you're getting good recovery at the end, it's like having an event of some kind every now and then, you know, jiu-jitsu comp or a fucking marathon, whatever it is, you know. As long as you're looking after yourself as you do it and you're fit for it, then, you know, I think it's good for you. I really enjoy the process, and I like the finished product. I like watching people enjoy that space and use it, and that kind of does a lot for me. But I think the actual process from start to finish is the fun part for me. So once something's done, I'm always thinking about the next big project, which I know what I want to do next.
What is that?
Well, I think as far as like...
Brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe's scratching his head. He's like, how much is it going to cost me?
Here we go.
So, well, we're expanding as a business, you know, and we've got our coaches development. We want to move into... we want more Jungle Brothers out there. And I mean, that's a conversation for another day, which I'm sure we'll have very soon. Mm. But I want to create a space that's geared up for coaches development, you know, and I really want to push the boundaries of the Jungle Brothers ethos. I'd like to be able to build something that has more natural interaction. So the space will be in a fucking rainforest or something like that. And then we pull the walls away, still have the height, have a big high roof, have no walls, bring the outdoors kind of inside the gym and have more interaction with the space, with natural space, and make that more of a feature. So like fully operating food forests, you know, it's closed systems with water and then space dedicated to education where people can sit and deliver. You know, you can get in there and run, you know, a group of 30 or 20 or 30 up and coming Jungle Brothers coaches over a shorter period of time. So rather than, you know, a 6-week span of coaches development, it could be done over
2 week intensive
week. Or 2 week, intensive. So you wake up in the morning early, train 2 hours, study, work, deliver for another 2, back into training, work the land, you know, understand, your food source, where it comes from, how that interacts with your health, the connection between your own personal health and the health of the environment that is around you, and that doesn't just extend to the little garden out the front. That's as far as your eye can see, really, at the end of the day. And then bring in some there's guest speakers and that kind of stuff, and then have that and that might be a quarterly thing, but then have that space as an open camping space at other times, and there might be some passive housing there that people can Airbnb at other times. But then the training space could potentially have classes running or coaches working out of that space as well, doing their thing too. But that would be the next kind of big build that you're going to pay for. What do you think?
This sounds great. Let's do it. Yeah. I'm sure Paul's stoked.
Paul will love it.
Yeah. That'd be great.
That would be the next big one. And I think the idea of that would be to accelerate the education process of the JB way,
Yeah.
So you come in already accomplished coach, and you're like, okay, I want to learn about how these guys do what they do. You know what I mean? You might fly in from somewhere overseas, and you can't afford to take 6 weeks off, but you can afford to take 2.
Yeah.
And those 2 weeks are, rather than waiting around for the next day, to meet for a couple of hours, you're working the whole time.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Training the whole time, you're learning the whole time, and you just get, leveled up in a matter of weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be mad. And I mean, we've spoken about a similar kinds of things in the past, haven't we?
Yeah.
Having something that was more, a bit less urban, a bit more based in nature.
Yeah.
Which was probably going to coincide with one of us moving, and probably you, because you like your nature.
Yeah.
We all do, but you have a particular love for it. Moving out of town, getting out somewhere, and then having the when we get to a point where we could have some space, it would be kind of a natural progression of what we've been doing here in the city.
I think so. Yeah. And just a place where you can experiment,
Yeah.
and just take away there's certain, I think with the fitness industry especially, there's not a lot of creatives in that space. You know what I mean? There are people that like sets and reps, and
There was a guy called Greg Glassman, but he's out now.
Yeah. Holy shit.
He was known as being quite creative in his time.
He's making space for us. That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg. I think it's time for people to start opening their perspectives perspective of health in general, and that's on a movement base, obviously, and to have a place where you can explore the arts, but also as a broader spectrum perspective of where your place is in this world and what your role is, and that moral obligation, if you are selling health and you're making a living from it, that you should be acknowledging all of it and not just one specific area of it, and ignoring all the other shit that's slowly coming apart at the seams.
Yep.
And I think so that would be the aim of a space like that, and also showing like an up and coming gym owner that you don't have to have a warehouse space or an office space to be able to produce fit, healthy individuals. You could do it anywhere.
It's true.
Do it in the park. You can build whatever the fuck you want, and make it work. With the little or amount of resources that you have.
Yeah. I mean, if we look back at where we started from, there was never a point where we had a large chunk of capital and then we created something and that was the business.
Yeah.
It was always just we started working with what we had and then kind of slowly growing from there.
Yeah, it was.
And we have had, like when we built this gym, we have had a couple of people who put some money forward.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But even then, it wasn't like, hey, here's $250,000, go and create your dream.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, here's a chunk. And we realized, all right, that's going to enable us to build, these three things that we really need,
Yeah.
and then we'll run from there. So it's
Yeah.
been pivotal, but I think it's kind of cool that we've never had to, because we also didn't know what we really wanted.
No.
So it allowed for that evolution to take place. But so I do agree, and I think that for someone who is up and coming, you don't have to have a huge amount of money behind you. You just got to have a bit of an idea and passion
vision
for it.
and be able to share that with the people around you and inspire them, so they do feel like they're part of something, and they want to invest their time, want to invest some money, want to invest their knowledge into helping you succeed, because it's something that they want to give, and then of course have the intention of being able to give that back and plus some,
Yeah,
always. And that's, we've had so much fucking help, like
crazy help.
money help and,
Advice.
knowledge help and advice and just support, moral support. I mean, even just having our surveys coming back and people saying, just keep doing what you're doing, boys, we'll love it,
Yeah,
That alone is enough to just kind of get you over the finish line. It's, all of it. Every last little bit of help. And that's played such a fucking big role over COVID for us, The amount of feedback that we've had by shifting into a digital model and, investing in camera equipment and lights and mics and shit like that, and then running a full schedule. Like that whole time we had our community behind us just kind of, cheering us on,
it's true. Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you start to second guess yourself, So there's no way we would be able to get to where we are now without the people around us,
Yeah. And it extends to past members too, right? People who have come and gone. I think back to like Porky and stuff from the old gym,
Yeah.
helping us with plumbing,
Yes.
and he's like,
Yeah.
oh mate, I'm happy to help. It's making the gym that I train at better.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck, what a legend.
Yes.
And he doesn't train with us anymore.
No.
He probably still should. But he's a lovely guy, and it was that attitude that we've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of people along the way who shared that attitude.
Yeah.
That have helped us to get to where we are.
Well, that was like Derek wanting to build the mezzanine so he could do
Train
jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to build a harbour bridge for you guys so that I can come and train jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
That was a big job.
Massive job. And, for a fraction of what we would have paid if we went, we couldn't have done it.
No.
If we did that through your normal avenues, it just wouldn't have been achievable, Yeah. So, it's been, there'll be more building coming for sure, but I think now it's been a really good time to sit back and reflect about how far the gym design and gym build has come, and what it started as and what it's evolved into. And the beginning was really, what was it? It was an empty garage with a bunch of kit that we bought for $2.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? $2.
$2 or $10?
It was $2.
$2.
Yeah, we talked them down to 2.
Incredible.
They wanted 10.
They wanted out.
They wanted $10, and we said, no, $2. And we thought we got the mad deal.
Yeah.
Didn't end up that way.
It was a bit of a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
But
we still got our kettlebells and plates from that first initial
yeah, we
investment.
do too.
Yeah.
Some collars,
Yeah.
barbell collars. Yeah, there's quite a few little bits poking about.
The old gym. But yeah, it's good evolution.
Anyone you want to thank, specifically? I mean, you kind of mentioned a lot of names, and obviously it's probably not possible to mention everybody.
No.
But anyone in closing that you wanted to make mention of?
Mate, I think, I'm just going back to those Derek and his boys. It's just been Eddie Patterson, Derek Frontline Fabrications in Botany, and then we got Stefan Blaze, and he's got his own carpentry business. He's working on passive housing now, and his crew. He's got Marek and his brother Arnold. Nicole's always there. And Carl, he's not running a building business, but I can't thank that guy enough. He's just been he's been around the whole time. My father-in-law. These are the big names, but then everyone in between. Marco spent a day on the deck, and we had Michael come out, Mastillo, and he did a bunch of work, and then Mark Milton, who just said he just turned up on the day when we built the mezzanine, and he's like, I just like
I got a drill. I'll come help.
Drills like screws into decks, and that was him. He was there for the whole day doing that, and people bringing us food, and the
Aaron Hook.
Aaron Hook
All
has
that
been
flooring.
an absolute fucking weapon.
Yeah.
That guy is a bloody good carpenter, and again, he doesn't want anything returned. Just turns up, uses all his own tools, and obviously we're gonna sort him out somehow. But the list goes on, you know.
And I guess, like I said, it's not possible to mention everyone, but even then, on top of all that, you got all the people that help us on the more technological side of things. People that give us design advice, like Johan, Will Lyons, Tony O'Brien helping us with SEO stuff, Mark Milton advising us on technological aspects.
Yeah.
Like, it really is never ending. And it's, there's so many fronts where there's people contributing towards. It's quite staggering.
Yeah, we had Nate doing all of our painting.
Our jiu-jitsu coach, painting.
Coach, he's actually a painter, so he came in and did did the whole back wall again and the front, and it's. I think it's nice also to be able to look into your own crew and support them as well.
Yeah,
in some way or another.
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, man, that's kind of it.
Well, I guess it's probably a good time if those people are listening to start getting your tool belts ready, start polishing things off, because the next build's going to start pretty soon, no doubt.
Yeah, we'll all have to do a bit of travel.
Yeah, we're all going to be heading up north, probably Northern Rivers, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
that's where you've had your eye on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, even here we've still got our 42 panels on the roof as well. Forgot to mention that. So we've still got a little bit of work we can potentially put another container on the one we've got as well.
Yeah.
So we can have
Why can't we put a third one on top of that?
Well, possibly. Yeah. So we've got our own roof, but yeah, we definitely need batteries
to harness all the power we
create. And then I'm going to get a Tesla and plug that into the gym.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all should get a Tesla.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Yeah. I think you'd suit the Tesla Roadster, that little sports car.
Oh, yeah. Little zippy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like that. If I had a car like that, I'd probably park it really badly and across 2 parking spots and shit like that.
Yeah.
Always.
You're right.
Yeah. What are you going to do, mate?
Well, you can't even key it now because the camera will record you doing it.
Is that right?
And then face recognize you.
That's mad.
Yeah, how's that?
That's cool. Fuck
it's
yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Can't even key a car nowadays.
Do people still key cars?
Probably.
Yeah.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
It's
an oldie, but
nice
a goodie.
car. As long as you get 3 panels there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Not just the one panel. That doesn't cost enough.
No, 3 panels. For the 3 panels. Not 4, because then they can write the whole car off. Supposedly it's like 3. I know this because I got a panel beater mate, but I don't key cars
anymore. We'll wrap it there. Thanks for listening, guys. There's there's so much gone into it, and we really push that point. Anyone whose name didn't get mentioned, you've not been forgotten. It's quite overwhelming when we try and look at all the humans who have been a part of it, and we're eternally grateful. And we hope that talking about it goes some way towards that. We got a cool thing coming actually for some of the construction guys, a little piece of recognition, but I won't mention what it is yet. Just a little way to say thanks to them.
Yeah.
But
it'd be awesome.
If you enjoyed the episode, please take a screenshot of it on your phone, share it on your Instagram, tag us, tag a friend. Any kind of thing you can do like that to help support the show helps to support us continue doing it. And as we mentioned at the beginning, if you do want help with any of your training or anything at all, get in touch, junglebrothers.com or at Jungle Brothers Movement. Episode 64. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace out. Thanks, T.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, guys. You've been great.